Hello, everyone. My name is Raul Sanchez. I'm the head of innovation of Barcelona Activa, and today I'm going to explain you what are we doing in Civronarium and which are the IT opportunities in terms of training that you can find in Barcelona. I will do a brief introduction about what is the context of what we have nowadays in Barcelona. Then I will explain you the different programs that we have inside Barcelona Activa and Civronarium, which is the training center of Barcelona Activa. And then I will end explaining you about one of the, let's say, most qualified training programs that we have in Barcelona Activa, which is oriented to reskill people and give them opportunities within the IT ecosystem. So, beginning with what we are finding and the context about the IT ecosystem in Barcelona, as you all know, we are leading a digital revolution. It's not only in Spain, it's all around the world, and mostly it has been boosted within the COVID-19. Where we have seen that without technology, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of things and even to work from home or from co-working centers. So, well, here a new reality is changing the labor market and the way to meet the challenge of the city. We have two variables that we have to work with. One is the labor market, and the other one is the citizenships. So we cannot foster and we cannot get involved only and fix it with the labor market. We have also to keep in account citizenship, and this is something that from Civronarium and from Barcelona City Council, we have been clear, because if we don't work with citizens and we don't give citizens the digital skills, there is no way of continue growing within the labor market. So as you will see in the different programs that we have, it's something that we always keep in mind. To give you some figures, as you see, and there are figures from different sources within European Union and some other big companies. Only in 2020, there have been 900 IT jobs that hasn't been covered. And this is only in 2020, and the figures are growing exponentially. So maybe in 5 years, if we don't do anything in that area, it will increase exponentially. So we have to be very focused on the IT training and on getting these digital skills to be sure that we cover all the demand that the IT sector it's demanding. Some of the figures is that people who have done engineering degrees have found a quality job before 6 months, which, as probably you know, there are some other sectors that doesn't have these figures. I mean, it's really difficult, and there is plenty of people that when they finish their school or university, they take a lot of time for getting a job, and that doesn't happen in the IT sector. So it's something that we have to keep in mind. Then, so another important issue is that the salary of IT sector is higher than in other sectors, and mostly in women. So referring only in women, it applies to 20+% more, which is amazing. So it does not only tell us that the salaries are more, it also tells us that women has more capacities to grow in that sector than in other one. Which in terms of gender, at least there is a huge, let's say, race on that sense. I mean, still IT sector has a few women in comparison to men, and you will see it later on. But the positive thing is that women are having and earning more money in that sector than in other ones. Then another one said by the World Economic Forum is that in 2022, 44% of workers have to update on digital skills. And that's why we are creating these different programs that will help to our citizens to do this upskilling trainings that we call it. And also, this comes from Microsoft, that the 65% of primary school students will work in new jobs related to digital talent, which is amazing. I mean, some other students said that in the next 10 to 15 years, we won't be able the same jobs that we are doing today. So, and when Microsoft report says in new jobs, it means jobs that still hasn't been created. And we are talking about the 60% of primary student schools, which is a huge amount of people. And then finally, and this is a bad figure, and it worries us a lot, it's saying that 6 out of 10 adults from OECD countries doesn't have digital skills. And so that's why here we are putting all of our efforts to be sure that they don't get out of the system. These people that doesn't have these digital skills, they doesn't get out of the system, and they not only can be in the labor market, but in terms of society, they still are involved in the society and the digital revolution. Finally, just to refer that only 1 of 1,000 employed women are working in the IT sector, which, as I mentioned before, it's quite few, but we have very good perspective in terms of the growth of women in this sector. And also, only 3% of 100 women with high-level students have done an IT degree. And this is something we are working together with universities to foster, and not only universities, also on college, that we are, let's say, working with them to foster these IT or digital studies in order to let these children grow and work in the IT ecosystem, sorry. And finally, the difference between the quality within women and men, it's about 9 million euros, which this is honorific. But then going back to Barcelona, and that's why we are today, to talk about what we do in Barcelona. Here we have good perspectives. As you see, we have a 40% of increase of demand of digital profiles and digital positions, which is really huge, and that positions us as Barcelona and as a city very good within the European ecosystem. The bad thing of that is that only even 40, we have 40% of demand of jobs, only 7.6% of offers of people prepared to be in that positions has increased. So that means that, as I was mentioning before, with these 900,000 people that won't jobs that won't be covered within 2020, the demand of people for working, it's growing, but the demand of people prepared to fill these jobs, it's not increasing. So that's why we are doing a huge effort on training people and training citizens in order to help these people get the jobs. Finally, and later on you will see more figures about where are the opportunities, and I will go deep in when I will be referring to what we are doing in IT Academy and which positions are being more demanded. Well, there are a lot of opportunities. So 5G technologies are something that is growing within our system. Blockchain technologies, Also, web development profiles. It's something that is growing in our system, in our ecosystem. So a lot of opportunities are coming from our city. In order to give you figures about how are we compared within other countries, we are the third most attractive city to create a new business and the sixth in the ranking of European emerging companies ecosystems. And as I'm explaining you, our mission is creating Barcelona more competitive with a competitive citizenship and without digital exclusion. So these are our three main objectives as Barcelona City Council, as a Cibernarium, and we do it from Barcelona Activa, which is the promotion, the economical development agency from Barcelona. What we do is we promote a better quality of life through fostering employment, boosting entrepreneurship, and giving support to businesses. And there are different departments inside our company that tackle these objectives. And Cibernarium, which is what I'm talking about today, is like the training center of Barcelona Activa and of the city of Barcelona. All our courses are completely free. There are different kind of courses, and we always do them for helping for helping citizens to get out of this digital exclusion, and also to upskill these capacities and improve the quality of life of all these people. Our mission to link citizens with technology to foster digital skills and digital talent. Here, for doing that, you will see on that graph that we have 4 different programs. They go from less specialization level to high specialization level. So on the bottom of this graph, we have, and also they are divided by this professional environment, which is in the top side of the graph, and also by this digital divide and promoting to avoid this digital exclusion that we are continuously talking about. So in the lower part of the graph, we have the program oriented to IT literacy, which I will explain to you later. Then the STEAM fostering, which is oriented to children to change their mindsets and convince them to go through the IT studies. Then finally, we have IT specialization, which is another program oriented to upskill the competencies, the digital skills of these citizens. And finally, the IT advanced training, which is where I will focus more my presentations later on. Going back to IT literacy, this training is oriented to people that has few or even no knowledge about technology, and it's oriented directly to avoid the digital exclusion. As I'm saying, as I was telling you, if we doesn't involve in getting all these people involved in this in our society, they will get excluded. This creates divisions and class, let's say, divisions of classes. So and they are getting out and out and out, which that creates a huge problem within societies. So what we do here mainly is giving all these people basic training kits and doing training, letting them to participate in training projects where we focus mainly on, let's say, help them to work with the technology on casual situations that we live in our daily lives. I mean, for example, explaining to old people, and you see on these figures that 46% of the people that we attend to, they are pensioners. So to explain all these people that has no knowledge how to take the bus with the app of the city, or how to take the metro, or maybe how to do an appointment, an online appointment with the doctors from the mobile or from the computer, how to connect to internet. So it's not high level training, but they are things that let them to feel apart from the society or from what society is giving them. So from not getting out of this digital revolution. As you see, I give you some figures. 62% of the people that attend are women, 46 pensioners, 37% unemployed, and 60% only are working. In order to give you some figures, that the amount of people that we are attending, only in the last, from 2010 to 2018, it's 15 people that we have attend, 4 activities each one. So that gives us feelings and rates that they like what we are doing, so they repeat, and when they do one activity, they like to do more, and the satisfaction rate is 9.7, which is amazing. So that means that these people need this kind of training, and us as Barcelona City Council, we are focusing and giving them in our minds a lot. Let's talk about the next kind of training that I was explaining you, which is STEAM fostering. It's addressed mainly to children, but we don't only go to children. We go also to families, and we go also to teachers, because if we only go to teachers, but we don't only go to children, and we are referring children between 10 to 16 mainly, and some activities we have been doing activities from even 5 to 10. It depends on the program that we are working on. So if we only go to the children, the problem that we are getting is that we convince them, or we work with them, and they know the importance of the technology and doing some IT trainings for the future. But then at home they have different kind of inputs that are not well related sometimes with the IT ecosystem. So that's why we doesn't only work with children, we also work with their families to be sure that everyone in the family is getting the same message, and also with teachers, who are at the end the ones that stay more part of the time with these children at the school, and so to be sure that everyone in this equation is getting the same info. And here we have different infos, different kind of trainings. We present them some scientists. We go to schools. We do some workshops with them. So also we bring them to some companies to see what the IT companies are doing. So it's full of different activities that led that children to get in love with the IT ecosystem. These are some of the partners that we are working on, which it's Consorci d'Educació de Barcelona, Barcelona Supercomputing Center, Bibliotecas de Barcelona, Atenes de Fabricació, UPF, IDEC, and GSMA. And in terms of figures, we attend per year around 7,000 students, 250 families, and also 400 teachers. Okay, and I'm going quite quickly within the different programs, because I want to focus more on the last program, which is IT Academy. And because I will explain what are the opportunities in terms of jobs. What I understand is that why is that you are attending to this workshop. So the third program that we have in Cibernarium, it's the IT specialization. So as I told you, the 2 programs before were oriented more to citizens, and more or less citizens that still are not involved with the IT ecosystem. This program and the next one, IT Academy, are oriented to people that already has been linked with the IT ecosystem, that they have IT knowledges. So in these IT specializations, what we do is we upskill the knowledge in the different areas. Here, what we improve is the digital skills of all these people. We do it in 2 buildings, in the Mediatic and in Park Technologic. And what we do here is we have more than 400 different activities per year. They are courses between 3 to 12 hours, more or less, oriented. And we do it like in that way, 3 to 12 hours, because we think, and also people that is attending, it's why they told us, it's the enough amount of time for getting involved with a technology, with a subject, or with what they are studying, to at least see if they like that or not. So if they like it, for example, we are talking about using Photoshop, how to use Photoshop, which is some of the trainings that we are doing. They get the course, they see which are the different solutions that the Photoshop can give them. So once they see, then they get some other trainings out of Barcelona Activa to get deeper with that technology or with that subjects. So that's why we are doing this only 3 to 12 hours. So it's just for specialization and see if you like or not this subject. In terms of format, they are online, blended, and face-to-face trainings. You can check them on our website, cibernarium.cat, barcelonaactiva.cibernarium.cat. And then, apart from the different trainings, we do master classes and meetups. We are around doing mainly 1 per month. Even sometimes, if we join together the master classes that we are doing in Cibernarium and in IT Academy, we are sometimes doing 2 or 3 per month. And also we do some summer courses. So if you are a person that wants to get involved and upskill your skills in the digital ecosystem of digital trainings, I recommend you to visit our website and check the different amount of courses that we have there, because they are huge. It's about web development, it's about marketing online, it's about business, it's about digital manufacturing. I mean, it's a huge amount of courses that you will find there. And again, as I was telling you before, it's all completely free. You can do it from home or even on our facilities. So we are trying to make you really easy to get upskilled in terms of digital skills. And just to give you some figures, and as you see here, we are equilibrating the balance between the amount of people and women and men that we are getting involved in the different kind of programs, on IT programs, IT training programs that we develop. So here it's 59% of women that attend. Here, as you see, 56% of the people now it's already working. So the kind of people attending, it's different. Then in terms of age, 45% it's between 25 to 20 years old. So it means that people, they are working and they want to get, let's say, improve on their jobs normally. So that's why they attend to our facilities. And 71% of the people has done university students, which also it's really different from the 2 programs that we had before. Finally, in terms of profile, well, we have Cibernarium. It's like I would say, the oldest training program. And I say oldest because we have been giving this training for the last 20 years. But it doesn't mean that we are not really updated on the technologies that we use. So because we give training on blockchain, on cybersecurity, so even it has a lot of years doing these trainings, this kind of trainings. We always try to keep very updated on the technologies that we do. And imagine, with all these 140,000 people attending on the last 20 years, the average satisfaction rate of them is 8.5, which that encourages us a lot to continue working for you as citizens and continue giving you this service. And finally, I'm getting to IT. Well, we are still in the IT specialization, which, as I was telling you, there are different projects, different formats. This is presentially, but also online. We have, in terms of online, we have 3 different kinds of training, which is bits of IT, MOOCs, or online masterclasses. If you check to our website, you will be able to see the difference between each one. I prefer not to focus right now on that. And finally, as I was telling you, one of the verticals that we do on Serenarium is the digital manufacturing. So we are working with the 5 public fab labs, which are facilities within our city that you can go there and not only get trained, but also use the technologies, infrastructure technologies of digital manufacturing. There are several kind of machines that you can apply digital manufacturing softwares, and it's free of use. So I recommend you to check, if you're interested in that area, I recommend you to check the website Ateneus de Fabricació, check it on Google or other web browsers, and see all the, let's say, training programs that we have on this area, which is really, really, really huge. And it's something that from Barcelona Activa we are focusing on the last 2 to 3 years, more than before. And now, yes, finally, going back to the IT advanced training. So as I told you, this is the training for all, let's say, for people that at least has some kind of knowledge on IT, but also each day we are attending more people that has no knowledge. But the important thing of that is that we are taking people from sectors that doesn't have a good labor occupancy. So sectors that mainly before they were they had a high rate of occupancy, but due to technology, they are getting apart. So, and people is getting unemployed from that sectors. So we are attending all these people, we are doing a reskilling of them, and we look them for a job. For doing this, what I will do is switching from a presentation, and I will go through another one where I have it more, let's say, let me 1 second, please. Here, Okay, can you please confirm me the organization if you are seeing well the new presentation? Well, I suppose then yes, because I'm just switching to the new presentation. Okay, so in terms of, as I was telling you, historical context, technology companies have high demand for digital talent, and it's very difficult to find people with the technical skills need. It came as in Barcelona Activa in our city 3 years ago, where a lot of companies were approaching to our facilities as Barcelona Activa, and they were saying, we have very problems for finding the good people to do the jobs that we are now being demanded on. So they were growing, but they weren't able to find these people. And what we saw as a public institution is that if we didn't do something on that area, then Barcelona as itself would get out of the, let's say, competitive system of cities within the world. So then we decided to create this specific program for attending all.
We can
Yes?
only, we can't see your presentation.
You can't see? Okay, that's what I was asking you. I put it on, okay, sorry. Let's see, share screen. Let me, now you see it?
Now we can see it. Thank you.
Okay, so sorry for that. It was due to the change of presentations. So as I was explaining you, if we didn't do something on that, then as Barcelona as itself, we had a problem because if our companies are not getting competitive because they don't find the right talent, then Barcelona as itself is getting out of the competitiveness within cities. And this is something we cannot permit as city council. So we decided to create a program, this IT Academy program, that was specifically oriented to take people, to train people for the most demanded positions that IT ecosystem was demanding. So what we decided was to create. Well, there were existing some boot camps in around the United States, and that's why I'm saying that in 2011 it appeared the first coding boot camp. Then after a year, thousands of academies. Appeared, and we decided to orientate our training program through this kind of methodologies, because we thought that in terms of, let's say, not only quality, but also public investment effectiveness, it was the best method, because here what we do is we train people from around 3.5 to 4 months, and then we find them a job. So after 4 months, we are having more people being able to work in this in the market IT market ecosystem. So these are some figures about how many people we attend in IT Academy. As I told you, it began with a pilot in 2018, sorry. The pilot was consolidated and we were getting the results that we expected. So we attend 106 people in 2018, and as the pilot worked, we attend to 144 people in 2019. From there we grow. In this 2020, we will train 340 people, which from this all these figures before COVID, we had an employment rate of 75%. I will explain you later in the presentation, but I think it's important also to mention here. So thanks to that, it has been seen that the let's say the methodology and the training model that we are using, it's working. So finally, City Council decided to let's say to boost our program, and after next year, so on 2021, we will be training 850 people to let them be ready for getting hired in the IT ecosystem, which is a huge jump, and we are really happy of that, and we encourage you, all of you, all those that you have interest on getting involved and get a job in the IT ecosystem. We recommend you to come to visit us and explain you what are in more deep way, what are we doing here and how can we help you. So as I was explaining you, I told you that we reskill people and we reconvert to work. So what we do here is we, let's say, we go with you, people, citizens, and we help you and go with you in a path of switching a life. And I said switching a life because you have been probably working a lot of time within one sector, only doing things in one way. And what we do here is helping you to go through another sector that has huge opportunities of growth, and that the methodologies itself of working are sometimes quite different from other sectors. So what we do in the IT Academy is we help you through all this process. At the beginning, we recommend you also to search on information and practice and experiment by yourself. So when you attend to us, we give you, let's say, documentation, some trainings that you have to do it by yourself. For two things. One is to check that you really like technology and you are prepared for that. And second, also to let you beginning to get involved on what you will find in our academy. Because as I told you, it's a bootcamp, so it's very intensive. And it's really important that you prepare yourself before getting in our academy. So then, once you have searched on information about the IT sector, different trainings, and also practice and experiment by yourself, then you get in the academy. We train you around 3.5 to 4 months on different positions, and we say that we train on different positions because what we decided, it's not training in let's say in a technology. We train you to be a professional of a specific positions. So what we did is getting to the market, asking them which were the different positions that were more demanded. Then, once knowing this position, we go deep. We went deep and we checked which were the different, let's say, skills that you had to have for getting these positions that they were demanding. And this is what we are training. So we are training you to be a front-end developer, back-end developer, .NET developer, and mobile developer. So we are just training you to be a developer. And once finishing the training, and this is what we put here, that we help you to look for a job and help you on its process, then you can get in an IT company and as a junior position, which before, and I'll explain you later also, before COVID, the average of earnings that people that was getting off the IT Academy, it was 22,500 euros. So we prepare you for being a junior in the IT ecosystem, no matter of which is the sector that you are coming from. And 75% of the people that was finishing our courses were having these jobs. So that is why we are encouraging all of you to get us to Seminarium and IT Academy and to explain you better how we're doing these things. We always say that this is an inclusive training because we don't we permit everyone to get in, independent of their age, their gender, their studies, or whatever. I mean, in terms of gender, you see that here it's 36% the amount of women that we have in our studies, in our programs. And this is huge compared with some schools or universities. Within some of them only it's 10%. So if you're a woman that you want to do studies on the IT sector, we recommend you also to come here because this is something that from Barcelona Activa and Barcelona City Council, we want to promote, and we give preference to all those women that want to attend to our trainings. We have a list, and when there is a woman that want to attend, we always, if we can, we always try to put in front all those women that are willing to get involved in our trainings. Mainly, in terms of age, mainly the people that attend, it's from, as you will see here, from 17 to 55, to more than 55. We have a person of 57 years old that 1 month ago, we find her a job, and he was really happy because he thought that with that age, he wouldn't find a job, and still it's possible. So don't lose any kind of willings. And in terms of studies, it's true that most of the people that come has university studies, which is 61%, but still there are also 40% that has even professional training or also some other academic studies. So don't think that you cannot get in if you don't have university studies. Then going back about what I was explaining you of the methodology that we were using related to the bootcamp, we wanted to avoid the classical training methodology where all the class follow the same path and learning path. So if you are a student that are really clever or have more digital skills, you get bored because the class is not getting as faster as you would like. Or in the opposite side, if you, for any reasons, are not following the same path, then you get nervous because everyone is going advance of you. So we wanted to avoid this model, and what we decided is to focus on a personal development program methodology. What it means that everyone can follow their own path, depending on what the other rest of the alumni is following. We created a self-learning platform where you can teach, when you can learn the different training sessions by yourself, and then you have some experts and mentors that help you whenever you are not ready to follow this self-learning platform. So these mentors are professionals that work within the IT ecosystem. They are developers. They are really high qualified, and they within their daily life they are developing different software utilities. So you will learn a lot on this side. In terms of practice, we didn't want that to be only training, let's say, only training method. So we want it to make the methodology as practical as possible in terms to prepare you for being in the market. So because sometimes when we learn something, we only learn it, but when we go through the reality, there is still a gap between what we learn and what is happening there. So what we decided is to creating, let's say, a real work environment. So you will continue during all the course, you will continue doing some practical issues in terms of and really real problems that some companies are facing. So we are talking with companies, and sometimes they give us challenges that they have internally for being solved within our students. And also at the end of the training, you will go through a practical training where we simulate that you are in a company, you have to develop some things, you go through some different sprints, as they call it in the IT ecosystem, and you have to solve some issues. So after that, you can go through an IT interview, and you can verify that you know well the different, let's say, languages and enough skills that are needed for having this position, and also that you have been trained to be part of a team and work with the developer team. And this is very important, and companies are really enjoying a lot all this methodology that we use. Finally, we said that it's personalized, so we attend every person and all their demands. As I told you, we are going with you as citizens through this change of life, and we know how difficult that is, and the different challenges that you may face. So you always can count on us, and we personalize the different approach that we do to each person regarding to which are their personally problems or their self background in terms of knowledge or whatever. Going back to and it's 15 minutes, so I will try to finish in 5 minutes. Going back to different training options, as I told you, we are here preparing for front-end developers, back-end Java developers, and back-end .NET developers. In front end, you will do some layouts. At the beginning, you will learn some layout. Then you will learn some JavaScript, Node.js, and then at the end, you will decide which is the framework that you want to focus on in front end. So it's Angular or React. On backend, we do Java and Spring, and on .NET, we do C# and ASP.NET. If you are more interested to know which things do we do in each of these blocks, again, we are really open to explain you. You will see on our website that we regularly will do some sessions to explain on deep some things that I'm explaining you today, and also to come and even not to come because it will be done virtually probably, but also to ask all the questions that you may have. These are some figures that I was telling you. It's 200 people trained since May 2008 to 20, 76% job placement. And also, it's something I didn't mention before, we are working with 97 ICT companies. And it will grow because we are focusing now a lot on this. As we are increasing the amount of people that we will train, where we will increase let's say we will open and make wide the network of companies that we will work with. So again, if you are one company interested on hiring people, so you are not also a citizen interested on studying, but you're a company interested on hiring people and you want to check if the people that is getting out of IT Academy can solve the challenges that you have and face these positions. We will be really happy to know you, to understand better which are your needs, and also to see how can we help you. Even in that sense, we have changed sometimes our curriculum in order to be sure that we are filling all the company needs. So we are really open to know you and see what your feelings are. And also regarding to the people that is working, before I explain you which is the people that was doing the studies, here you see more or less the salary, the insertion I told you, and also the previous employment situation. Which is something I didn't mention. 53% of the people had no job. 10% only were self-employment, working it was 18, and students were 9%. In terms of schedules, and I'm going fast to be sure that I can answer all your questions. In terms of schedules, we will have from Monday to Friday, from 9 to 1, or from 3 to 7, offline and online. So again, we will facilitate a lot in order to let you do our studies. And the process is that one that you see here. So you pre-register, you do a test, you get a personal interview, you get into our waiting list. And then you are in the waiting list, we give you introductory course in programming. As I told you, you have to do this by year round. And after that, you start the course with us. As you see in the presentation that the organization will share with you, here you have the link to the pre-registration directly to get in touch with us and being registered within our courses. And that's all. This is our, here you can contact us, or directly you can get involved in our training with the other link I was telling you. And that's all. I'm open to different questions, and I open also not only in these 10 minutes, you can also contact me by LinkedIn, searching as Raúl Sánchez Adey, and ask me as many questions, or come to Barcelona Activa, or have virtual meetings to answer you all the questions that you may have. And that's all. I will see which are the questions that you have. Okay, hello, let's go. Okay, Jocelyn is saying that the question, Mia is asking the questions are provided in English or in Spanish. So it's both. Normally it's in English because in the development market, everyone is in English. So it's necessary that you have at least a little bit of level of English. Even that, finally, there are tools as Google Translate that help you a lot to understand some of the trainings that we are doing. Mitanchi, do you have any questions? Okay, good afternoon. I wanted to find available trainings over Scenarium. Okay, in Scenarium, most of the trainings are in Catalan, but in IT Academy, as I was mentioning, are in English. Courses in English too, okay. How much do you expect? It always depends. How much do you expect in Barcelona with 3 years of experience or more? The stats are below around 40K. I have friends with a company. He told me that he pays 24 for after 3 years PHP. Well, I mean, that's true. I mean, it's obvious that and more nowadays within the COVID-19 crisis that we are living, that what we are doing here is training people for switching a job and a career from a sector. So with that, what we will do is training you to be a junior in the IT ecosystem. Said that, and it's something that has been demonstrated by figures, the IT ecosystem, it's one of the sectors that has better, let's say, increase of quality and earnings through all the development path in terms of growing within a company. So you can get out of IT Academy with 22,500 euros, which was the average, and mainly in 5 years you can be earning 45K, which is something that in some sectors it's impossible. Sorry. So that's why I'm saying that it's important to do all these switches. Then. Repeat, please. Repeat your LinkedIn. Okay, my LinkedIn is Matthews Pereira. It's Raúl Sánchez Abey. If not, you can go through my presentation and go to the link that I was putting on the last page and ask that you want more information, and we will contact you and try to arrange a meeting or whatever. Okay, if we submit the CV for pre-registration in the academy, should the CV be in English, Spanish, or Catalan? Do not worry for that. I mean, even the trainings are in English. You can put it in Spanish or in Catalan, and also the trainings are in English, but also in Spanish, because what we do is having trainings that are on the net. Some of them are in Spanish and some are on English. So do not worry for that. We talk all languages, and we are open to receive the CVs in all languages. Okay, do you give any courses? I don't speak Catalan. Well, I am not to attend a course. Do not worry. We have several people that come from abroad, international, I mean, English-spoken languages, English-spoken countries, sorry, and they can do our courses perfectly, because also our teachers speak English and they can help you for that. Okay, what type of qualification do you look for in the CV for acceptance? At least is doing, let's say, some kind of studies, even it's some basic studies. But what we are not looking is on the CV mainly. What we look is that people want to follow this, let's say, hard training that we are providing, as I told you, this bootcamp, and that we want people that really desires to do this switch of life and go from one sector to the IT sector, and that people is prepared for being trained hard. This is the only thing that we are looking on people. That is what we do some these personal interviews to know you better, to see which are your expectations, to see how many hours you can study and check if you will be able to get it until the end of this training. But even that, I recommend you again to come and talk. When is going to be the next boot camp? This is a good question because I didn't mention it before, but another reason why we decided to do this training like this is because there is not a beginning and an end. So as public institution, we wanted to invest as better as possible of all our money, and we didn't want to have mainly, imagine a course that begin with 20 people. After 1 month, 2 people leave it because there any reason. So until the end of the course, we have 20 teachers. So what we did is, as it's a self-learning platform and self-learning system, each week they start from 1 to 10 people, and each week they start from 1 to, they finish 1 to 10 people. It depends on which is the velocity of finishing the different modules and training models that we have there. So you can get involved right now, checking on the website. We will call you, and as soon as someone leaves the program, it gets available a place for getting trained for a new person. What is gonna, okay, thank you so much. Thanks for you. As I told you, we are working for you as citizens, and we try to help you to get involved in these digital revolutions that will drive us all to a new era. So our main objective is to train you and help you. How many weeks, months does the course last? It's between 3.5 and 4 months normally. But this is, as I was mentioning before, this is an average. We are not strict. What we want is to help people to get trained and get a job. So even if you if it's difficult for you, you will be able to stay more than 4 months. And in the other side, if you have some already some digital skills and you finish our program in 2 months, also it's good for us. I mean, we have had people that they knew half of the training that we are doing, they didn't do all the course. So they jumped directly through the half of the course. They did 1 month and a half or 2, and finally we looked them for a job, and they were hired. So normally it's 3.2 to 4, but it's quite open. There is many people in the waiting list. Yes, still we have mainly. Right now, I think it was like 50 people in the waiting list, but as I told you, every week it's leaving 5 to 10, we are opening 5 to 10 positions. And also, as I told you, nowadays we are training 150 people at the same time, but on January 2nd, we will train 200 people 250 people at the same time, and it will be a total amount of 850 people during all the 2021 year. So do not worry, because nowadays we have waiting lists, but as we will grow on 1st January of 2021, I'm sure that there will be space for everyone that still wants to get involved with IT Academy. Okay, can the bootcamp be done next to a full-time or job, or it's too intense for that? I'm sorry, but well, everything is possible, but our schedules for this mentorship and IT trainings are from 9 to 1 and from 3 to 7. So normally it's not easily, well, it's not able for people that is doing full-time job cannot attend to these training sessions. So I wouldn't recommend you if you have a full-time job. Yes, can you choose which hours to complete? Yes, as I was mentioning, you can, depending on which is your level, there are some tests. You do the test. If you have enough knowledge, you get to the next level. So you don't have to do everything. Okay, Oksana, I read in the description of one of the courses on IT Academy that a valid work permit is required. Is the same for all the courses? I think that a valid work permit is required. No, I'm not sure if I'm misunderstanding you, but there is anything needed for, in terms of work permit. I mean, I think that we have had people that has not work permit in Barcelona in our training program that they finally got. So it's not being related. So feel free to come if you don't have this work permit. So sorry for asking again, Christine. How do I apply for this course? Okay, I'm not sure if I think that yes. So I am sharing the screen. You have to go to cibernarium.barcelonaactiva.cat and then you look for IT Academy. Once there, well, in fact, what I will do, and I'm sorry for the organization, but I think it's better if I show you on internet. Can you, organization, please tell me, no, right now, okay. Can you please, organization, verify that I'm sharing the website? Well, I wish that yes. So you go here to cibernarium.barcelonactiva.com, you go to Formacions, and from here you go to Formació TIC Avançada IT Academy. Also, if it's in English, so you can switch here, okay? So once you go there, which takes a lot of time because we are sharing, here you find the Coneix IT Academy, which is, these are these different sessions I told you to know deeper what I explained you today. And also here you have the web development from Java and .NET courses that I told you. You just put here, inscriure'm, and that's all. It's that easy. Okay, I will stop sharing to check the different, okay, to check the different questions. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Just send my application. Hope to hear back from you. Oh, of course. We never let anyone that applies without an answer. So I will be happy to know all of you and see you in the following weeks within the IT Academy. And that's all. We are 5 minutes late. Sorry, organization, for taking more time. Oh, sorry, one more question. What is the fee for study? There is no fee. I mentioned it in the beginning of the presentation, but it's completely free. We are Barcelona City Council, and all the services that we give are for free because we work for you as citizens. So there is no cost for that. And well, that's all. Thank you so much. If you have any other questions, feel free to write me in LinkedIn as Raúl Sánchez Arey, or in the link that you will see in the presentation that the organization will send you. Thank you so much.